Hot news today.
Trump says U.S. will send Ukraine Patriot air defense systems. Trump intensifies trade war with threat of 30% tariffs on EU, Mexico. President Donald Trump on Sunday said Washington would send Patriot air defense systems to Kyiv and hinted at new sanctions on Russia, once again voicing displeasure with Russian leader Vladimir Putin over Moscow's war in Ukraine. The U.S. president's announcement of the much-needed weapons for Ukraine came after he earlier said he would make a major statement on Russia on Monday. The announcement could come amid a diplomatic flurry set for Monday, with the U.S. Special Envoy starting his latest trip to Ukraine and Trump set to meet with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte in Washington. Moscow's offensive on Ukraine has lasted for more than 3 years, with attacks intensifying this summer and U.S.-led negotiations so far yielding no results to end the fighting. "We will send them Patriots, which they desperately need," Trump said Sunday, without specifying how many weapons he would send to Ukraine. "I haven't agreed on the number yet, but they're going to have some because they do need protection," he told reporters at Joint Base Andrews, as he returned from watching the FIFA Club World Cup final in New Jersey. The White House has U-turned from an announcement earlier this month that it would pause some arms deliveries to Kyiv, instead announcing a new deal which would involve NATO paying the United States for some of the weapons it sends to Ukraine. "We basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated military and they're going to pay us 100% for them," Trump said. "It'll be business for us," he added. Earlier this week, President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine was close to reaching a multi-level agreement on new Patriot systems and missiles for them. Trump also repeated that he was disappointed in the Russian leader, as he grows increasingly exasperated with Putin. "Putin really surprised a lot of people. He talks nice and then he bombs everybody in the evening," said the disgruntled Trump. When he first returned to the White House in January, Trump insisted he could work with the Russian leader to end the war, holding off on hiking sanctions unlike European allies. But Russia has for months refused a ceasefire proposed by the United States and Kyiv. Trump has repeatedly voiced displeasure with Putin in recent days, and on Sunday hinted he might finally be ready to toughen sanctions as momentum grows for a deterrent package in Congress. When asked about whether he would announce any sanctions against Russia, Trump responded, "We're going to see what we will see tomorrow, okay," and repeated plans to meet with Rutte. Sledgehammer. Earlier on Sunday, U.S. senators touted a bipartisan bill that would arm Trump with sledgehammer sanctions to use against Russia. The sanctions bill would allow Trump to go after Putin's economy and all those countries who prop up the Putin war machine, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham told broadcaster CBS News. It would give President Trump the ability to impose 500% tariffs on any country that helps Russia, said Graham, adding that those could include economies that purchase Russian goods like China, India, or Brazil. "This is truly a sledgehammer available to President Trump to end this war," said Graham. "Without a doubt, this is exactly the kind of leverage that can bring peace closer and make sure diplomacy is not empty," Zelensky said about the proposed bill in an ex-post. Graham and Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal were also due to meet NATO's Rutte on Monday night. Blumenthal told CBS News they would also discuss the legally thorny issue of unlocking frozen Russian assets in Europe and the United States for access by Ukraine. "The $5 billion that the United States has also could be accessed, and I think it's time to do it," said Blumenthal. France 24. Washington/Mexico City, July 12, Reuters. President Donald Trump on Saturday threatened to impose a 30% tariff on imports from Mexico and the European Union starting on August 1, after weeks of negotiations with the major U.S. trading partners failed to reach a comprehensive trade deal. In an escalation of a trade war that has angered U.S. allies and rattled investors, Trump announced the latest tariffs in separate letters to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum that were posted on his Truth social media site on Saturday. The EU and Mexico, both among the largest U.S. trading partners, responded by calling the tariffs unfair and disruptive while pledging to continue to negotiate with the U.S. for a broader trade deal before the deadline. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said she was sure an agreement can be reached. "I've always said that in these cases, what you have to do is keep a cool head to face any problem," Sheinbaum said at an event in the Mexican state of Sonora. "We're also clear on what we can work with the United States government on, and we're clear on what we can't. And there's something that's never negotiable, the sovereignty of our country," she said. Trump sent similar letters to 23 other trading partners this week, including Canada, Japan, and Brazil, setting blanket tariff rates ranging from 20% up to 50%, as well as a 50% tariff on copper. The U.S. president said the 30% rate was separate from all sectoral tariffs, indicating 50% levies on steel and aluminum imports and a 25% tariff on auto imports would remain. The August 1st deadline gives the targeted countries time to negotiate agreements that could lower the threatened tariffs. Some investors and economists have also noted Trump's pattern of backing off his tariff threats. The spate of letters showed Trump has returned to the aggressive trade posture that he took in April when he announced a slew of reciprocal tariffs against trading partners that sent markets tumbling before the White House delayed implementation. Reuters.
Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.